Hi, I'm Todd Cutter. I'm one of the counselors at Water's Edge, and I really enjoy working with couples, especially helping couples learn to communicate more effectively. Couples that communicate well report having more peace in their relationship and also feeling a higher level of satisfaction with their partner as well. So when I meet with couples, I find that I often have to remind them that arguments are normal. When we're in a relationship with someone else, we're not always going to see eye to eye. We may even disagree with them at times. However, the problem is that we don't always argue very effectively. You see, when we become overwhelmed by our emotions, we often find it more difficult to listen, or we start engaging in behaviors like defending our actions or justifying what it is that we have done. And so when couples find themselves in this kind of loop, I teach them a very simple technique called take a break. Now, the first step in the take a break technique is paying very careful attention to yourself. I think all of us know when we're reaching the point that we can no longer effectively listen. And so what we do is we start watching for those signs within ourselves. So some of us may have a thought that recurs over and over again. Others of us may feel a bodily sensation. Our bodies might tense up, or we might feel really hot or really cold. And some of us engage in physical behaviors like pacing or eye rolling or sighing. So when we identify that that's happening, the next step is to pause and to say to our partner, I am reaching the point that I can no longer listen. However, I know that this is very important to you, or it's very important to us as a couple. I need to take a break. The third step, whenever the words, I need to take a break are uttered, is everybody immediately stops talking. Those are the words that are supposed to cue us that it's time to pull away from the argument for a while. The fourth step, whoever calls for a break needs to indicate how much time they need before they're ready to come back to the conversation. Sometimes it might only be 15 minutes. Other times it might be several hours. Some people even need a whole day to really calm down before they can re-enter the conversation. So once someone has called for a break and named the time that they need, then that's the time that the couple sort of separates. They go to their own separate spaces, and during this time, the goal is not to come up with an argument so that you can win, but the goal is to self-soothe, to engage in behaviors you find that help you relax and calm down. When the allotted amount of time has passed, the person who calls for the break is responsible for seeking their partner out and saying, 2 hours have passed. I'm ready to re-enter this conversation. Are you ready to re-enter the conversation? And at that point, the partner can say, no, I need 15 more minutes. And they would be the one that would then seek the other out after 15 minutes. Or the person who calls for the break can also come and find their partner and say, you know what, I thought I needed 2 hours. It turns out I need another 30 minutes or another hour to fully be ready to re-enter this conversation. And once again, they seek the other person out. So what does the take a break technique do? Well, what it does is it helps us to calm down. It helps us to still those strong emotions within us so that we're ready to come back to the person with whom we're in a relationship and listen carefully to them, to hear their point of view, to hear how they're feeling, to hear how they're experiencing things. And they too have had some time to calm down so that they can do the same for us. And so as you move forward in your relationship, I hope that this technique will be helpful. If you're struggling as a couple, please reach out to me or one of the other talented counselors at Water's Edge. We're here for you, and we're ready to help you find more peace and satisfaction in your relationship.